Alright, you guys, so I've wet sanded, cleaned, and painted the hood off the '07, and I ran out of paint. I was trying to stretch it in here so there's a little bit of runs. You can kind of see, there we go. But this is the underside, and it's, like I said, it's still got to get all wet sanded again. But I need to touch that up, get some more paint. Took 4 cans of paint to paint this hood. And like I said, it still has some cracks in it. Like I said, it's not perfect, but this is just part of the process. This is just like a base coat, and I'm gonna wet sand everything down and just be able to see everything a lot better. Just by painting it black, you can see all the cracks really good. Before I painted it, you couldn't even really see a lot of these. But yeah, see, there's a imperfection right there, and there's some cracks down here. Oh, if I can get it to focus. Let's get it in the light. There we go. Yeah, imperfections down here. There's a bunch of trash in the paint, so I mean, like I said, it needs to be cleaned. But I'm just gonna give it like an hour and a half to dry, and then David's gonna help me pull it off this ratchet strap hanger setup, and we're gonna set it back on the stands over here. And I'm gonna wipe it down with some soapy water, clean it off, rinse it down, try to get as much of this trash off of the paint as I can. And then I've got some sandpaper over there and a bucket of water, and we'll get this thing wet sanded down, try to get all this trash out, let it dry off, and see how she looks. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update here shortly. Alright, look here guys, so I'm out at Danny's. There's a 99 gram Prix Supercharged. Someone took the snout, but if you looky down here, we got some headers. Can't really tell what the tag says. There's definitely some headers. They kind of do look like Speed Daddies, but they've got extra flanges. Well, I might try to come get these. And this transmission looks like it's been remanned. It's pretty clean, and it's got a new axle in it. Someone did some work to this car. Kind of interested. I need this. I bought a new one on eBay, but it's gonna be like July 15th or something before it gets here. It's coming from China, so I gotta run back out to the car, or to the Trailblazer, grab some tools. I'm gonna take this off. I think I'm gonna try to get these headers. I got a couple hours, so I'm gonna keep looking around, but I'll give you guys another update once I come start pulling this stuff apart. Alright y'all, so I got the headers off. They're there, and these are pace setter. These are pace setter headers. They were kind of ghetto rigged, some ugly welds, but it is what it is. But if you look at this trans, it is super clean, and even if you go up underneath, it is super clean. It's got some bright red fluid. The diff housing is super clean. It's got new axles on both sides. I think this is a good transmission, because someone else was over here. He pulled a water pump and a couple other things, and he said it looks like someone redid all the gaskets and just didn't do a good job. So I bet this had engine issues. I bet you this is a good transmission. for a 99 Grand Prix GTP. So yeah, I got the headers, so I'm about to head home. They're about to close in about 10 minutes. So y'all stay tuned. I'll give you another update once I make it home. Alright, you guys, so just made it back over to the house. Got everything unloaded out of the Trailblazer. So that's everything I got today for $38. So you can't really see it on the front manifold. You can't read anything, or on the rear manifold, but you can read it on this crossover pipe pace setter. So they're pace setter headers, come with the both the O2 sensors, got the down pipe with the gasket. I had to cut off one bolt because it was this very upper one and they were just rusted together and I couldn't get it off. But other than that, I mean, other than these shitty welds here, look at that. So someone definitely tried to weld it together. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks like shit, but it kind of works. So, but yeah, these are the headers. And then I also got the boost pressure bypass valve. I need this. I ordered one on eBay, but it's not going to be here until like July 15th or something. So still a couple more weeks. And then on the 07 right now, I'm actually using a NA brake booster hose, and I mean it works, but this is a supercharged off the L67. And then this is that bigger pulley that I was talking about before. That's for that supercharger belt idler. And these are like 20 bucks online. They didn't even charge me for this. And then I also got the rear valve cover that doesn't have a hole in it, and it's got new grommets and a new gasket. I was gonna get the front one too, but I just didn't want to have to take that that dog bone mount bracket off. I wasn't really trying to fuck with all that. And plus I only had like 10 minutes left. They were closing. But yeah, this is everything I got for $38. So steal today. Great deal. And then also this come in the mail today. So I got these off of Facebook Marketplace. And these still look damn near brand new. But these are factory shorter dog bones. And then I also got the square dog bone mounts. I got both. And these were 40 bucks shipped. And it cost them, I think it said $12 on there to ship them. So really not bad. It was like 25, 26 bucks for all that. So those are going on the 07. And then this guy Brian, he also lives in Tulsa. He has a newer Camaro, like a 2015 or 2016 Camaro. He's doing a cam and stuff in. And he's been posting it on Facebook in the groups. And so here, like, I don't know, like a year ago, I went and was working on this hospital roof. And I found this wallet. And just turns out, just happens to be that it's him, the guy. And, but yeah, he just did some AC work on his Camaro, and I messaged him and asked him if he could come vacuum down my AC system so I could recharge it and fill it with oil. So he's gonna charge me 20 bucks. And then I was like, hey, I still have your wallet. So he's gonna come get his wallet and charge the AC. And yeah, so I'm about to get this other hood latch open that is broken. And hopefully these new ones will be here pretty soon. But yeah, I'm going to get this other hood latch open so I can get these dog bone mounts on. And then he should be here within like 30 minutes to an hour, and we'll get the AC done. But yeah, I want to kind of clean all these headers up and just kind of try to make them look a little bit better. I have some header wraps so I can wrap them. I want to weld that down pipe together. And yeah, I want to weld some of this stuff together. So, but yeah, this is going to be an awesome project. Set of headers right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this hood open, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, so Brian just left, and we got the AC charged up. It blows ice cold. So it took that whole big can over there and then this whole little can, but got it filled up. It's right at 40 psi on the gauge, blowing ice cold. Fans kick on. And then I also went ahead and added the other dog bone, since I got these used dog bones with almost new mounts, and for 40 bucks shipped, that was just a great deal. Like, I'm pretty sure just these bushings here are like 40 bucks. Maybe they're like 25, I'm not for sure, but for real, for what I got, I'm happy with that. It was cheap, and it allowed me to get both dog bones on. So now I have the other ZZP CNC aluminum one, but that's cool. This is it's black and red, and then I have a brand new Supercharger gasket on the way. Also, I replaced the boost bypass valve and the sensor, and got better vacuum line on there. And then I also got this hose, so I replaced it, and come to find out, whenever I had the clamp on this side, it like smashed down the T-tree piece, so I had to bend it back out with a flathead screwdriver. And so I just didn't put a clamp on this side, I moved it down to the other side. But yeah, after changing all that and fixing that piece, swapping that hose and swapping this out, it runs much better. It probably doesn't even need a new Supercharger gasket now, but I already bought it, it's already on the way. And then I'm still waiting on the new transmission filter and pan gasket and the side cover gasket and a few other things. I've got a brand new set of hood latches, they should be here tomorrow. And yeah, so I've got a lot of stuff coming in. And so whenever I do the Supercharger gasket, I'm going to pull the pulley off, tape off the modular hub, I'm going to pull the throttle body off, I'm going to pull all these caps off and everything, pull off the boost bypass valve, and I'm going to end up painting it. Probably I'm going to wire wheel it all down, then I'm going to paint it white as like a sealer base primer, and then I'm going to paint it red, the gloss cherry red, so it'll really pop. And yeah, then I'm probably going to do the cap, the fill bolt right there, I'm going to paint it black, so it'll really pop against it. And yeah, and then it'll go back on, and so it'll have a red Supercharger, and that'll kind of bring it out a little bit. So yeah, but other than that, the car's running great. The fans kick on, it's got ice cold AC, really hot heat, it's got both dog bones on now, it's running great. So it's still throwing a code for the torque converter clutch. So as soon as all the transmission stuff gets here, I'll drop the pan, drop the valve body, do the shift kit, pull the side cover, do the torque converter clutch solenoid, get it all back together with all new gaskets, all brand new fluid, and see if that helps anything. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. And I don't know, maybe here once the sun goes down and cools off a little bit more, the car cools down, I'll go for a little test drive and take you guys along, and we'll go see just how well she runs. Alright you guys, so it's the next day. It is Wednesday. I just got home from work. So yesterday I did go drive the car. My phone was dead, so it was on the charger. But I went and drove the car, and like it was running great here in the driveway. And so I got this boost bypass valve with the sensor from the salvage yard off of a 99 Grand Prix GTP, same one I got the headers off of. And so I swapped all that around, put it on here, and it seemed to run a lot better. It wasn't making the whistling noise anymore. But then I went and drove it around, and it didn't seem like it was making boost. It seemed so much slower. And so I only drove like right up to the gas station and stopped by the smoke shop, and then on the way back it threw the check engine light. So I ran the codes, and it threw 2 codes for this boost bypass solenoid sensor. So I swapped this back to the one that was on here with the zip tied boost bypass valve, and it seems to run way better now. Drove to work this morning, car ran great the whole way to work. And then as soon as I turned on the street going down to my job, it said reduced engine power, and I was able to put down to the parking lot, and I ran the code, and it said it was for the throttle body performance. Still threw the code for the torque converter clutch, even though I didn't have any issues with it not wanting to shift or anything. It seemed to shift fine. But yeah, so now that's the issue, is now I have something going on with the throttle body. And then yesterday the AC was blowing ice cold. And then today on my way home from work, like yesterday was pretty cool. It wasn't super hot. But today it's like 103, 104, just scorching hot. And transmission temp got up to like 213 or 215, which is a little warm. But I went ahead, I swung by Walmart. I got another can of Freon for the AC because it is just not blowing cold when it's hot. Yesterday, when it was only like 80 something, it seemed to be blowing real ice cold. But yeah, in the heat of the day, this thing is just not blowing cold. So I got another can of Freon. I'm gonna, not right this second, I'm letting the car cool down some, but I'm probably gonna add some of this can of Freon into the system, make it blow a little bit cooler. And then I've also, I guess I'm gonna pull this throttle body off and kind of clean it out. And then it also threw a code for the mass airflow sensor this morning. So it's something with the mass airflow and the throttle body. Something is going on. It could still have a vacuum leak somewhere. I mean, like I said, I've ordered a new supercharger gasket. It's not going to be here for a couple more days until Friday. So hopefully that thing will hurry up and get here so I can tear the supercharger off, get it all cleaned up and painted. I guess I'm going to swap to a different throttle body, and hopefully we have no more issues. So kind of sucks. A lot of this got to come back off, but that's just part of the game. So, but yeah. So I guess I'm going to let this cool down for just a little bit, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, so car's been cooling down for a while, for a good 45 minutes or so. So I went ahead and started the car, and I added in, it took this whole other can, that's empty already, but took that whole can. It's still sitting right in the middle at 40 psi with it running. Took that whole can, still sits at 40 psi. But it blows much cooler now. Really hoping that it, if I drive this thing to work tomorrow, we don't have any issues. But I just had the car running for like a good 10 minutes again, because I was filling it up with Freon. Just want to make sure the AC is working. So I'm going to let the car sit again for about another hour, 45 minutes to an hour, before I pull the throttle body off and the mass airflow sensor and mess with all that. But I am going to end up pulling this throttle body off. I've got 2 cans of brake clean and 1 can of throttle body carburetor cleaner. And so I'm going to use that throttle body cleaner spray and completely clean this thing out. And if I run out, I'll finish it off with brake clean. It's basically the same thing. So, but yeah, I'm going to get that all nice and clean and looking new. I have another brand new gasket, throttle body gasket. So I'll go ahead and throw that on there. And I know, I think I have a couple more mass airflow sensors. I don't know if they're in the shed or at the storage, but I'm pretty sure I have 1 or 2 more. So I'm going to get the throttle body all cleaned out. If I still have an issue and it throws a code for the mass airflow or the throttle body again, then I'll see about swapping out that mass airflow sensor. It's pretty simple and easy. But yeah, AC is blowing much cooler now. Super happy about that. So I'm going to let this thing cool off again, and I'll give you guys another update whenever I'm about to pull this throttle body off. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you guys. So, new hood latches came in. These are the same original set from Japan. So I went ahead and ordered another backup set for just in case. So if one of these does break, then I'll have another brand new set just waiting. So those will be here in a few days. But I guess while I'm waiting for this to cool down, I'm going to go ahead and swap one of these with this broken one. And yeah, hopefully holds up a lot better. So I wanted to wait until I got the hood fully painted and sanded and cleared and everything before I put the brand new ones in. But like I said, I have another set coming, so shouldn't hurt anything. But yeah, so I guess while I'm waiting for this to cool down before I pull the throttle body, I'm going to go ahead and get this open and swap out the one on this side, because this one's still good. And that way I at least have both working hood latches. Don't have to worry about one being broke. So I'm going to go ahead and get that swapped out. I need a 5.5mm for the nuts, which these are the nuts and washers. So got all brand new ones in there, but I'm gonna need a 5.5mm, and then I want to say it's like a 4mm or 3mm Allen head. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those tools so I can go ahead and swap one of these and give you guys another update. All right, you guys. So I've got, this is actually, I was wrong. It's a 7mm for the nuts, and then not quite sure what size this is, but it's a pretty small one, but it fits and works. So I've already got this side out, so now I just gotta open up the box over here, get one of these out, replace that one with the new one that's not broken, and get it right back in here and make sure that it latches and everything's good to go, and we'll be good for now. So y'all give me just a minute and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, so you see this is the old one, this is the new one. Not broken, but there we go. Pretty much same pattern. They're a little bit different color wise, but I mean, for 25 bucks, can't beat it. I even ordered an extra set after these come in. These are just so awesome, from Japan. This is exactly what the very first set I bought was, but these are a little bit different quality than the first ones. The first set, like you see, it's a little bit different, but this is still from the very first set. Only one of them broke, and this is now the third set I've bought, replacing just this one side every time. So, and here we go with, it's now the third set. So I'm gonna get this one on and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, and bam, just like that, new one is installed. Looks good. So now I just got to move everything off of the radiator support, shut the hood, make sure everything lines up, make sure it latches, and should be good to go. So I'm going to get everything cleared off and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all, so everything's cleared off. Let's see if she fits. Oh, to lift her up. There we go. Wasn't all the way in. Other than that, it looked like it lined up though. There we go. Might have to raise the stud a little bit. It's the same problem I was having with the other one. Oh, it's wanting to go. There it goes. Oh, golly, it's like such a tight fit though. But it's on there. Well, that's cool. I mean, definitely doesn't spring up. Yeah, I think I need to raise it just a little bit more. This side's pretty good though. If I can get the latch up. Hold on. Alright, there we go. Finally got it. Gotta use two hands. Alright, so I'm gonna have to loosen this nut, and then just take the stud, spin it, complete 360, tighten the nut back down, and we'll see if she fits. So let me grab a couple of crescent wrenches. I'm gonna get these to the size I need, and I'll give you another update. Alright, so here we go. So this one I'm gonna use to spin the stud, this one I'm gonna use to loosen the nut. So alright, nut is loose. Give this a full 360. Then I gotta tighten the nut back down. Alright, and now I gotta tighten them back up. Alright, y'all, so I got this adjusted, got it tightened down. So let's see if she fits. Looks like I need to turn it just a little bit. It's a little cockeyed. So let me pop this back up. Grab this one. Alright. Try that again. That looks a little better. Still looks like it's kind of being a pain in the ass, but it's right there. Well, I guess I'm just gonna leave it because this side works fine. So I'm gonna leave it. I'll get both of them locked so it can't open. But yeah, now actually I gotta pop these both back open and open the hood, because now the engine's cooled off enough I can pop that throttle body off and go ahead and get it all cleaned out. So I'm happy with the hinges, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this pop back open and grab this 10mm and get this throttle body off here. Alright, you guys, so as you can tell, I've got the throttle body off of the car, and it's just two 10mm nuts on those studs. I've got them right there, and then two 10mm bolts. They stay in the throttle body up top. So I mean, it looks pretty clean already, but I guess I'm gonna go ahead and spray it out. And I mean, I haven't pulled the mass airflow off yet, but I mean, it doesn't look dirty in there, doesn't look oily or nothing, so I don't know, I guess we'll see. And I've already put my brand new gasket in there. So that is the brand new gasket that I had. So, but I'm going to go ahead and spray this out and get it cleaned out, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all, so just went and sprayed the throttle body out. Got it all nice and cleaned up. Looking good. So I'm about to go ahead and bolt it back on and put it back together and see if that helps anything. So y'all give me just a few. I'm gonna get this back on here and I'll give you another update. Alright, you guys, so everything is all back together. Got the throttle body bolted down nice and snug. Got the intake back on, mass airflow sensor is hooked up, throttle body plug is hooked up. So I'm gonna start her up, see how she runs. Traction, service ABS, DEF system not programmed. Ooh, that AC feels nice though. Ah. Alright, so no check engine lights. I got a squeaky pulley over here somewhere. I'll find it. But overall, seems to be running really well. It's running smooth. Sounds pretty healthy. Yeah, I don't hear any stuttering or anything. Sounds good. My grommet popped out. It's okay, no biggie. I can pop it back in. Oh, that AC feels so amazing. Oh, that is so much better. Now, if it just blows like this in 100 and something degree heat outside, then I'll be happy. Because this feels amazing. It says it's 89 outside right now. Feels like it's like 95 still, but oh man, this AC is like 60, 50. I don't know, it's pretty cold. Feels great. Yeah, it seems to run much better, so I guess I'll go drive it around tomorrow, drive it to work, and we'll see if the check engine light comes back on for the throttle body or the mass airflow. I don't really know what else I can do. But man, that AC feels so great. I think I'm about to raise that up again, and I can get it to close. I just gotta push down. Alright, I'm gonna get this closed and I'll give y'all another update. Alright, y'all, I got it. So I still gotta lock them, but they're closed. Car's running better. AC is blowing ice cold. Oh, battery saver active. I don't know what the deal is. I have no issues with 13.76 volts. I got two batteries, there's no way. Oh, it feels so great. Oh, I know, does it open? Shut? Yeah. Alright, well, I guess that's going to be it for tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and kill it and lock her up. I'm going to pick these tools up, get everything picked up and put up for the night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Alright, you guys, so it is Thursday. I just got off work. It's 2:20 p.m. It's like 109, and the AC is starting to cool off a little bit. Check engine light come on this morning, so I just ran the codes. I had 2 torque converter clutch codes and an engine misfire code. Doesn't say a cylinder, just engine misfire. So I'm guessing there's still a vacuum leak somewhere. But I just want to give you all an update. So I'm headed home, and I'll give you guys another update once I make it home. Hey guys, so I made it home and got a new package today. It's a Supercharger gasket, and it actually came with the throttle body gasket. That is way too small to be the thermostat gasket. Come with a couple O-rings. Come with the little, I don't know, they, online and at AutoZone it says this is a thermostat gasket, but it's definitely not. It goes on the side of the lower intake manifold, but it actually came with more than what I thought. I thought it was just the metal Supercharger gasket, but it's pretty sweet. There we go. Apex premium gasket. It says it's a Velcro. Yep, there we go. Grand Prix 0607. Intake manifold gaskets new. It's weird. Not intake manifold, but oh well. I got the new gaskets for the Supercharger, so at least now, once I get the Supercharger all off the car and everything, I can get it cleaned up, get it painted, got all new gaskets to go back on, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But it's not happening today. Like I said, it's like 107 outside, and it's way too hot. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do anything with the car today. So yeah, I'm probably just going to kick it inside and play some PlayStation. So yeah, I guess I'll give you guys another update later on tonight once it cools off, and so y'all stay tuned. I'll give you guys another update here after a while. Alright, hey guys, so it's Thursday, it's the next day, or no, today's Friday, sorry. And so I overslept this morning, didn't wake up till 9:30, was supposed to be at work at 6. So called, talked to my boss, he told me just take the day off. So my paycheck next week is gonna suck a little bit because I missed some time, but it gave me time to do some work on the car today, plus I have all weekend. So went ahead and went up to the store, got me a couple NOS, and then was headed up to the car wash to go wash the car. And I seen this guy was just in a wheelchair wheeling down the middle of the street, barely moving, and it is hot again today. And so I pulled over and, pushed him to where he wasn't in the middle of the street. And, I just seen he was barely even moving along, and he was missing both his legs. And I could tell he was hot and he was tired. So I just parked the car and locked it up and pushed him home. It was probably a good 5 or 6 blocks. I was sweating my ass off, but I got him home and walked back to the car, went to the car wash, just washed the car and got home. So it's been a pretty eventful morning since I woke up, but it's all good. I'm just happy, I was there and I could help the guy out. At least help him get home to where he wasn't having to wheel himself. So it's all good though. Went and washed the car. Got to the car wash. The soap brush didn't work, so it just got sprayed down with soap. Sprayed, rinse, and then I spray waxed and then spray rinsed again. And it come out pretty good. AC's working awesome. Still no check engine light for any throttle body or mass airflow sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this hood, start letting the car cool down because it is up to temp. So it's going to have to cool down for a little bit. I'm going to get some tools out of the Trailblazer. And I guess I'm going to start pulling the Supercharger off this baby. So y'all give me a bit and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so I've got the car pulled forward a little bit, got the hood open, still really hot, so I'm still letting it cool off. But I've got the evap purge solenoid disconnected. Looks like mailman just got here. More packages.
Oh, this is just in time.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Have a good day. Awesome. I wonder what it could be. So But yeah, so I've got the, oh damn, I can't recall what it is, but the, a lat, got the boot off, it's right there. So next time I'm gonna unplug the mass airflow, I'm gonna pull the intake boot off, probably gonna pop this bar off and just pull the whole intake itself out, give me a lot more room. And then I'll probably just unbolt the throttle body from the supercharger again. And then I just got to unplug a bunch of stuff. And I got to unplug all the injectors. So, got quite a bit of stuff to get pulled off of here. But it's all going to come off. I got to get the belt tool out of the truck so I can get the belt off. And yeah, we're going to make some progress today. Get the supercharger off. We're going to get it cleaned up and painted. And all reassembled on here with the new supercharger gasket and all the gaskets that it came with. I'm just going to swap so everything's new. And yeah, hopefully this thing runs a lot better, and hopefully that gets rid of the engine misfire. So I'm going to I guess pop this box open and see what we got, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, so this wasn't even car parts. This is Wheelie Clean Duracoating Technology. I got this off of, I want to say it was off of Facebook, and I just seen an ad and I clicked on the link and I got like 5% off. And so this was, it was originally like $19.99 for one bottle, but they had like a buy one get one half off plus like an extra 5% off. So it was like 36 bucks or 34 bucks shipped for both bottles. So wasn't car parts like I was thinking it was gonna be, but this is supposed to be some really good stuff. So no sponsorship, that would be awesome. But yeah, hopefully this will really clean up all the wheels on all the cars. Like, see, I'm probably gonna test it out on all this brake dust on my mom's 06 Prix. And I'll spray all these down, and it's pretty much just spray them down, let it sit for a few minutes, and spray it off with the pressure hose or pressure washer. I know in the video he like sprayed it down and just used like a little brush, like a paint brush or like a boot shoe shine brush, and just like kind of worked it in a little bit and rinsed it off, and that shit looked brand new, looked like brand new wheels. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Yeah, we'll have to do another video, a separate video, doing some wheel cleaning. And it sucked, I just went to the car wash right before I got home, or else I could have took this up there and sprayed it on the wheels and then power washed it. But it's alright, these wheels are looking pretty good after doing a little polish the other day. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and let this cool down a little bit more. Just kind of keep disconnecting some little stuff that's not hard to get to. Because just having my head in the engine bay is just making me sweat profusely. So it's already hot outside, and then all this engine heat in the engine bay, it gets hot. So yeah, but y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update here in a bit. Alright, you guys, so I made a little bit of progress. Had to set up a fan just to help keep me cool. So I disconnected both batteries, positive up here and the one in the back. I had to pull this alternator wire off the alternator to be able to get to my other stud right down there. So I've got the two front and that back one out. The one over here was that broke stud where I broke the lower intake manifold. It cracked off, and it seems like we have a leak over here. If you can't tell, it's only on that back cylinder 6. So that could be the engine misfire. Looks kind of oily, but it could be fuel. Could be a slight fuel leak. I didn't see any leaks when it was running and everything. It looked dry, but you can definitely tell there's definitely something going on back there. So, and I'm gonna get that all cleaned up. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and keep pulling things off of here. I've got to pull this EGR heat shield off, and then I've also got to pull that map sensor bracket. It's just two 10mm bolts that bolt to the supercharger. And then once I have that off, I can go ahead and unbolt the throttle body, and I've got to pull the belt off. And then once I get that off, I should be able to just unbolt the supercharger and it should just come off. And I've got most of the harness out of the way. Like, I'm gonna have to snake it through a little bit, but all the injectors are unplugged, fuel rail is just set over to the side. And other than that one cylinder 6, all the other 5 look really good, nice and dry and clean. It's just this one. Even the injector itself looks pretty clean. There's a little on the side. This leads me to believe is from that bolt not being fully seated. So I think I found the issue. I might end up having to get another lower intake manifold. But I think while I have the supercharger off, I'm going to try to dig the rest of that piece of bolt out that I tried to drill out down there. And see if I can't get something to half-ass thread down in those threads. But yeah, for now I'm just going to keep working on this, pulling the throttle body and that heat shield and that map sensor bracket, and get the belt off, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright y'all, so I got the throttle body off. It's sitting over here. Got the EGR heat shield off. It's there. So I was doing a little bit more looking back here. And if you look right there, where that bolt goes, it kind of looks like it's leaking from the supercharger gasket right there. Not from the broken part where I drilled out the lower intake. But it looks like it's more right there. And then just spraying onto the injector with boost. So I know I still got to get the supercharger off just so I can look at it a little bit better. But I'm feeling pretty confident that it's the gasket. So like I said, this was a used gasket. It's been sitting for a while. And like I said, it was just budget. Get it back together at the time as cheaply as possible. And I mean, the car has been running and driving pretty well with this gasket. So if it is the gasket, it's very, very, very minor. And I mean, I didn't even notice that it was leaking until I pulled the fuel rail off and just seen a bunch of crap all over the fuel rail. So with the fuel rail on, I couldn't see none of that. You couldn't even tell. So, but yeah, it's getting there. It's coming along. So I've got the map sensor bracket unbolted. I just set it back there on the back side of the valve cover. And other than that, I'm pretty much ready to start pulling the supercharger off. It's just like, I want to say it's 10, maybe 12 bolts. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there should be, yeah, 10 bolts. They're all 10 millimeter. So next thing I got to do is I got to grab the belt tool, get the belt off of the supercharger. Then I can unbolt these 10 bolts and get the supercharger off here and get it off the engine. And I'll bring it over here into the shaded area somewhere. Got to get the power washer out. Probably going to power wash it, wire wheel it, spray it down again. I know I might just use some brake clean because I do have some brake clean. Yeah, right here. So I can always buy a couple more cans for doing the transmission stuff later on. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I can get it cleaned up, get everything looking good, get it wire wheeled, clean, get it painted, and then just about ready to slap it all back on here with the brand new supercharger gasket and throttle body gasket and all that. So y'all give me a bit and I'll give you guys another update once I have this unbolted and I'm about to pull it off. Alright you guys, so I got the belt removed from the supercharger. Got all 10 of the supercharger bolts out. So she's nice and loose, still a little hot. But yeah, so now I just gotta lift this harness up and kind of finagle it out from under the harness. And we'll get her out of there. So y'all give me just a minute and I'll give you guys another update once I have the blower off and sitting over here on the ground. Alright you guys, all the supercharger bolts are out. They're up here. Supercharger is off. So I'm excited. Supercharger sitting over here. As you can see, there's a lot of corrosion buildup right here around the coolant O-ring ports, which sit right here. And as you can see, both of these coolant O-rings are just ate the fuck up. And then there's a nice little indentation right in here. It was pretty wet whenever I pulled it off, and that just so happens to be right around the ear, which sits back there around the injector. So it is possible that it was leaking from this gasket, but at the same time it's hard to be sure. So, but yeah, as soon as I pulled the supercharger off, coolant just started coming out of the coolant O-rings, or the coolant passages where the coolant O-rings seal. And so it was dumping in the intake. So I got some blue towels, and I've just been soaking it up and replacing the blue towels. So, but yeah, I guess I need to get the wire wheel out. I have the impact right here. And then that way I can go ahead and re-wire wheel the bottom of the supercharger and wire wheel the whole housing and get it masked off. I got to get that pulley pulled off of there and mask off the modular hub because I don't want to spray paint over the modular hub. I want to keep it chrome. But yeah, so I'm going to get this supercharger cleaned up, get everything masked off, get it wire wheeled, and then we'll get it painted. And then also, now that it's off, you can get a way better look at where the stud broke off on the lower intake manifold. It does kind of smell like gas, so it definitely could be gas. Could have just been leaking fuel because this bolt was broke. So, I don't know, I definitely need to figure out something. Maybe I can make a little bracket or something that'll bolt from the supercharger bolt and just go down on top of the fuel rail right there. So when I bolt down the supercharger bolt, it'll press down on the fuel rail. So I don't know, that could be something. The fuel rail could actually cover up this bolt hole though, because a lot of them you gotta put the bolts in, and then when you put the fuel rail on, it covers some of the bolts, but some of them stay exposed. So we'll definitely have to check further into that whenever it's going back together. But yeah, I think now I'm going to grab the wire wheel and the impact and start getting this thing cleaned up, and I'll give you guys another update once I have it all nice and cleaned up and I'm about to get it painted. Alright you guys, so I've got the supercharger all masked off from everything I don't want painted. I've got my 3 wire wheels so I can get down into all the crevices pretty good. So I'm about to give this a quick wire wheel just to get it cleaned up, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so I've got it all wire wheeled down, got her as cleaned up as I could, had to remask a couple of spots, not too worried about this up here, but I got the whole bottom of the supercharger masked off, everything I don't want painted. So I'm about to get this thing painted. First coat of red. Got a nice little spray gun for it. So we have gloss apple red. I thought I had the gloss cherry red, but it's apple red. So, but yeah, I'm about to throw a couple coats down and then get the clear. So yeah, about to get this painted and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so look at there, there's first coat. Try to get all around it pretty good. It's really probably about 2 coats because I did the front, then came around the back and went around the front and then back around the back again. Got the underside of the snout, the underside of the throttle body area. Try to go over everything. I'm going to let it sit for 10 minutes or so, try to keep these flies off of it. And then I'm going to go over it again, finish off that can, give it 2 nice good coats, and then let that dry, and then we'll throw some clear on there, really make it shine. and then we'll get it all unmasked and start getting it all put back together. So y'all stay tuned. I'll give you guys another update here shortly. Alright guys, so I got the new gasket kit open. I got the new metal supercharger gasket just set on there. I wiped everything down, got everything cleaned up. This is the new throttle body gasket, and I guess these are supposed to be the coolant O-rings, but this throttle body, it doesn't get that. Like, so I'm not for sure. Dang it, there went my pop. Yeah, I'm not for sure what those are supposed to be for, unless I'm supposed to stretch those around like the gasket that goes there. It's on the T-tree, which that just seems like that's way too small of an O-ring to go over that. So yeah, I'm not for sure what those two O-rings are for. This is already brand new, so I'm not going to replace that. And then this looks like the thermostat gasket, but that is way too small. So I don't know, unless this is a gasket for that up there. Maybe, possibly. But yeah, so I've got this open. I'm still letting this dry. I still got to give it another coat, and then I still got to clear it. But I just want to give y'all an update, let y'all know I got the new gasket set opened up. Well, supercharger gasket. And yeah, so it's set in place. Everything's looking good on the engine side. I still was not able to get that out of there. So like I said, once I get the supercharger on and the fuel rail on, I'm gonna see if there's like if I can make a bracket or something to hold down that side of the fuel rail, and hopefully it'll work out. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update once I have the supercharger all painted and ready to go back on the car. Alright y'all, so as y'all seen, gasket set in place. I've got 2 layers of red, and then I didn't even have enough clear to do a whole coat. So I did what clear I could, but I ran out. I thought there was more in that can. But then I found out the little gasket, it actually goes to the PCV valve. So I got that off, got the old gasket off, got it all cleaned up. Got this new gasket on. Got the throttle body reinstalled with the new throttle body gasket that came with the kit. I got the purge valve back on. I got the modular hub pulley back on and bolted down. So the only thing I'm not going to put back on just yet is the boost bypass valve with the solenoid and the T-tree cap. I'm going to wait until after I've already slid it back onto the car. And then I'll get that bolted back on and hooked back up. But for now, it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. It really pops. It's nice and shiny. The only thing I didn't get to do was black out the fill cap, but it's okay. I'll just leave it. It looks so much better red than it did just dirty aluminum before. So that should kind of help the engine bay pop just a little bit more. But yeah, I'm happy with it. So I'm still going to let this dry for a little bit longer, but now I have the throttle body to grab onto and the pulley to grab onto to try to work it back in there. So y'all give me just a little bit, and I'll give you guys another update whenever I get the supercharger set back on the lower intake manifold. Alright you guys, so supercharger still drying. I just moved it over here on the car just to get away from all the flies. There's like 1,000 flies over here in the yard. They keep coming over, flying around and landing on the supercharger. So I moved it over here in front of the fan. Move the fan back over here. And seems to be helping a lot. There's all the flies seem to be over there and not over here. So, but yeah, I'm still just letting it dry a little bit longer before I get it bolted back on here, set back into place. So I'm kind of waiting for David to come back over so he can kind of help hold this up out of the way so I can snake that down in there. But overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks really good. And actually, I'm really glad that the supercharger gasket came with these other gaskets and O-rings and stuff. So that's pretty cool too. So that way I'm able to redo the whole supercharger, not just the supercharger gasket. So I like that. I dig it. So it's coming together really good. And then yeah, after I get the supercharger bolted back on, then I'll go ahead and bolt the boost bypass valve and the T-tree back on. I want to probably put some RTV around this just so I don't have any leaks up here, because it didn't come with the new O-ring for that for some dumbass reason. But yeah, I'll get this thing bolted back on here and start getting this thing put back together. And yeah, it shouldn't be any time. No time here soon. We'll be doing a startup and seeing how she runs. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let this dry for about another 20 or 30 minutes before I actually try to install it back on the car, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so supercharger's been sitting for a good another 15 or 20 minutes. I think it's good to go ahead and set back down on here. Still waiting for David to get back so he can help me out. So, but yeah, as soon as David gets back over here, I'm going to have him help me set this back down into place. I'll start getting it bolted back down, and we should be good to go. So, and then I also need to kind of take that fuel rail and set it on here and see if it's going to block the hole for the fuel rail bolt. See if it's going to block that supercharger bolt. So it's looking like that's a big one. There's that one. It's looking like it's going to be maybe this one. So we'll have to see if the fuel rail blocks that bolt hole or not, and kind of go from there. But I guess I'll give you guys another update once I get this thing set back on here and start getting it bolted down. Alright you guys, so I'm still been waiting for David to come over. I went inside and kicked it for like 20 minutes or so in the AC to cool off, and he still wasn't here. He still hasn't messaged me back. So I just went ahead and kind of set the supercharger on the oil fill cap and this bracket and climbed up here and was able to get it on there by myself. So it is now on there. I've got all 10 of the supercharger bolts bolted back down. Got the 2 in my map sensor bracket back there. Got those nice and tight. So supercharger's back on there. I'm happy with that. So next thing I got to do is get the fuel rail back on there, and I need to see if this tab right here, if that's going to cover up my bolt or not, because as you can tell, it's right next to it. So if that tab doesn't cover up my bolt, then whenever I bolt down the supercharger, it should let me kind of press down on the fuel rail right there if I make a little bracket or something. So I know I'm gonna reset this fuel rail on here, see if it covers that bolt or not, and I'll give you guys another update here in just a few. Alright guys, so I got the fuel rail just set back into place. It's not installed or nothing yet, but as you can see, there's 2 front studs. Got my one down there is a bolt because the stud came out. And then this one over here is the broken one. And as you can see, the fuel rail does not block that bolt. So I should be able to loosen that bolt, make some kind of a little bracket that will go over that supercharger, like between the supercharger and that bolt, and bend it down to where it presses down on the fuel rail just to keep the fuel rail down. And as long as that was the issue, then we should be good. So I guess we'll just have to find out. Hopefully we have no more leaks. It looks really dirty, like it was oil or something. So hopefully it was just a supercharger blowing shit out over here. But I guess we will find out. So, but yeah. So right now I'm just going to continue just putting stuff back together. And I'm going to go ahead and get the 2 nuts on the front studs and the bolt in on the back over under the alternator. And then afterwards, I've got to find some kind of a metal tab of some sort. I think I have another NA fuel rail in the shed. I might be able to just break the tab off that normally bolts down like that, and maybe use that to press down that fuel rail. So I don't know, but I will definitely give you guys another update once I figure out what I'm going to do with that. But for now, in the meantime, I'm going to just continue and just move on with everything else. get this T-tree back in, get the boost bypass valve on, get my brake booster hose hooked back up, and then once I have everything else done, then I'll come back and pull that supercharger bolt out and try to make a little bracket that'll hold down the fuel rail right there in that corner over cylinder 6. And hopefully we have no more issues with anything, with any kind of leaks, no misfires. The only other thing I'm still going to have to do is drop the trans and all that to do that torque converter clutch. So that's going to be for another weekend. I'm still waiting. It's saying July 10th before the filter and pan gasket gets here. The side cover gasket should be here anytime. And then the boost bypass valve that I ordered on eBay, it's like June 18th or June 5th or July 15th. So yeah, I've still got a couple more weeks, 2 or 3 weeks until that comes in. And then I've got another set of the hood latches are on the way. So I mean, I've still got a few things coming for it, but it's gonna be a little while. So but I'm going to keep working on this, getting this put back together, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, so made a lot more progress. So I've got all 3 of the front injectors plugged in, got my nuts on there, got the boost bypass valve on, got the solenoid on, everything's plugged in and ran. Back here on the back, I've got the bolt on this side of the fuel rail. I still need to plug in the injectors, and I still need to reconnect the alternator wire to the alternator. I'm going to remove the other power wire right there, that black one. That's the Bonneville SSEI that goes back to the second battery. So I'm just going to delete that, get rid of that completely. I'm probably going to take the battery that's back there and put it up here and take this top post out. And I'll keep the top post for running the power inverter in the truck, because that's where all my tools are, and I want to take that out anyways. So I'll just have just this front battery up here, and yeah, we should be good. So then to solve this fuel rail issue, so like I was saying, if you can look right there, I can get to that bolt, that one on the supercharger, and then you can see the broken spot right next to it. So what I did was I got in the shed. I had this other NA fuel rail here. As you can see, I just cut that off. So what I did was I bolted it down to the wood table, and then I used a Sawzall and just cut it off. I was trying to bend it back and forth and get it to just break, but it wasn't having it. So I just bolted it down with that bolt. And there we go. So now all I need to do is kind of set this down where it needs to go, see how far down it needs to go, and then bend the bottom there, or maybe just cut it off a little bit shorter. And yeah, then once I get that to go on there, I can just pull that bolt, sandwich that between it, bolt it down, and the bolting the supercharger down will hold that of the fuel rail down. So that's going to be my fix for the fuel rail, and for the lower intake manifold being cracked where that stud snapped off. So I know it's probably not the best, easiest fix, or it's not the best what should be done kind of fix. Like, I don't have another lower intake manifold, or I would have just swapped the whole lower intake manifold while I had the supercharger off. But this is the only lower intake that I have. I don't even have an NA one, and the NA one wouldn't even work. But this is all I have, so I'm just making it work. But I don't know, as long as it's not leaking anything anymore, then I'm happy with it. Like I said, I just want it to run and drive, and I mean, it does. It runs and drives really well, how it was before I pulled it apart. But it had some issues, and I wanted to try to get everything taken care of, so hopefully this fixes it. Like you see, there was a lot of crap over there, so it definitely kind of looks like it was leaking some fuel. I was really thinking maybe it was the supercharger gasket was blowing out over in this area somewhere and just blowing out onto the fuel rail and the injector, because this outside over here wasn't dirty. It was only the inside on the supercharger side here. and the back side, like the supercharger side of the injector, all this front side, it was all still clean. So I just kind of have a feeling that if it was the O-ring on the injector or something, or if it was a fuel leak spraying, then it would have been all over the front of the injector too, and the front side of the fuel rail, not just this back side. But so to me, that kind of tells me that maybe the supercharger gasket was blowing out right there, and it was oil, and it kind of smelled like fuel, but at the same time I just pulled the fuel rail off, so it's supposed to smell like fuel. But I don't know, I guess I'm gonna quit rambling on, and I'm gonna keep working on this and try to get everything hooked back up and try to figure out where I need this bracket that I'm making to be, so I can get it bolted down on there and get everything good and correct and good to go. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update here shortly. Alright y'all, so I got it. There's the bracket that I made, and it goes right down, right onto the middle of the fuel rail. I was trying to bend it, but it was just not having it. After I cut it off, I could not get it to bend. And I was just trying to get this thing back together, but it's nice and snug now. Bolts tightened all the way back down. So shit, that worked out super easy. So now all I gotta do is just plug my 3 rear injectors back in, hook up the alternator, unrun that Bonneville SSEI power wire, and it's literally just a few things, and get the belt back on, plug wires back on, and it's pretty much done. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and get everything back together and get the battery back connected, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so I've got everything back together except for the supercharger belt. I still need to put it back on, and I still want to pull the battery from the back and put it up here and pull this one out. And so I just tightened down these battery terminals, and so this positive one, it's real long because there's supposed to be a spacer about that big in here, and that's what I had on the battery, the rear second battery before. Well, whenever I got these adapters, the little short bolt that was in there, the brand new one, stripped out and it wouldn't stay tight, so I robbed that long one and it works great. Well, I just went to double check the ground, and it's still loose. So that's probably what my battery saver light on this is probably this ground. So I definitely need to get that other battery out of the back, get it up here, and that should take care of the issue that I'm having with my, it's not even a charging system failure, it's just battery saver active. So I think it's this ground. So definitely going to get this battery swapped out with the one that's in the back, get everything hooked back up, get the belt on, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so I've got everything back together. Sorry, my phone's dying, so I can't use the flash, but everything's back together. The belt's on. I still have the Napa top post converted to side post in here, but everything's back together. So I want to prime the fuel system, make sure that I have no fuel leaks, and then try to start her up. So I'm gonna go turn the ignition on and prime up the fuel pump.
Any leaks?
I don't see any fuel leaks down here. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to try to start her up.
She's over there. She's over there too.
Definitely sounding a lot better. Seems to be running pretty decent. Give her a couple revs. Definitely seems to be running much better now. Definitely sounds much better. Alright, well that makes me pretty happy, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and kill it and swap the batteries out, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so I've got the battery swapped out, got my bar back on, I had to pull the long bolt out and put a short one from back there back in. The belt is now on, everything's ran, everything's tight. Everything's hooked up, plugged back in, so I'm gonna go ahead and start it back up, and let's see if swapping this battery and getting a tight ground that will actually tighten down. Let's see if that helped it out. So I'll go ahead and fire her up. Turning on the AC. Get that thing blowing. Whew, still says it's 87 outside. Alright. Not seeing any leaks, so that's good. Looks so much better under here. Sounds good. Seems like it's running really well, so I'm happy with that. Oh my geez, that AC is amazing. At 14.29 volts now. It was 13.7, 13.8 yesterday. So it seems like that probably fixed my issue. So now I just gotta drive it tomorrow and see if that helps anything. And if it was a voltage thing, it could have been a voltage issue with the transmission, but I guess we'll see. I'm just gonna have to drive it. But man, this AC is just, oh, it's feeling so great. So, alright, well, I guess I'm gonna kill it again and get everything picked up and put up. And I told my mom I would take her car up to the car wash. She said it needs a bath, so I'm gonna drive her car up to the car wash. I'm gonna take some of the wheelie clean with me, and I'm gonna spray down all 4 of her wheels and tires and let it sit, and then power wash and wash the whole car. And we'll see how well this wheelie clean does against her stock wheels with all that brake dust on there. So I guess I'm gonna plug my phone in so it can charge up some, and I'll give you guys another update. Bam, guys, so look at here. So I just got back from the car wash, and all I did was just spray these down and then come back after I sprayed all 4. Then I came back with the soapy water. See, there's still a couple little marks. They're not perfect, but man, dude, both the front ones were like black with brake dust. These things came out great. I went ahead and washed the whole car. This one definitely still needs some love and probably a little bit of scrubbing, but I ran out of quarters, so couldn't wash the car any longer. It ran out. But the car came out looking pretty good. All the wheels came out looking great compared to what they were. And look, I didn't even use that much of the cleaner. So yeah, it's still pretty damn full. But yeah, dude, the wheels came out great. So my mom should be happy that her car's at least clean now. And really, I'm really happy with the 07. I made a lot of progress on it today. It seems to run so much better. I'm probably going to go take it out for a test drive, just see how well it's running, and I'll take you guys with me. So I'm going to get this thing locked up, go put my mom's keys inside, and get this thing unlocked and give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, I've been driving around for a good 30 minutes or so. I made a couple pulls, and I'm looking at 201 trans temp, but I'm just cruising along right now. So got not a bunch of traffic, but we still got some traffic. So I'm gonna try to get to a little bit more back road where there's not as much traffic, and I'll do a pull for you guys. Still got a bit of traffic. Trans temp's cooled down some though. It actually feels pretty nice outside. Just crazy because it's been so hot these last few days. I don't know what that was in the middle of the road, but I'm glad I seen it. Well, seems to run really good. I'm happy. I hit 140 in it last night before doing the Supercharger gasket. So I know it's totally capable of more. But yeah, I think I'm gonna head back over to the house and I'll give you guys another update once I make it home. Alright you guys, so it was really late whenever I made it home last night. The 07 did great. Pulls hard, drives good, it's shifting good. So it's now like around 11:30 or noon. It's Saturday. We just did the wheelie clean on my mom's Grand Am wheels. And I just sprayed it down. And so now it's just kind of drying. The wheels look way too good for the car now. And yeah, so David brought the 97 over. He even got some scrub brushes. Yeah, this is the before. He's already sprayed down these other ones and kind of brushed them with the brush. And it says you can let it sit as long as you need to, so. But I'm about to grab the power washer. We're gonna get this thing sprayed down. Probably try to wash the whole car without hitting the windshield because it leaks. And yeah, we're gonna get these wheels cleaned up and get the 97 nice and clean. So y'all stay tuned. I'll give you guys another update once we have this thing all nice and clean. Look at there. This thing already looks better. Yeah, this shit works really good. I'm gonna let him get all these rinsed off and I'll give you guys another update. We'll show all 4 wheels. Just look at the difference. I mean, this one's not rinsed yet, just been agitated with the brush. You can still kind of see the goldish color haze to it. Man, that thing, it's just silver. That looks good. Nice. That looks real good.
Really clean.
Yeah, this is some good stuff. I like it. Definitely well worth the money. So I'll give you guys another update once we get all 4 nice and rinsed off and clean. Bam, look at here guys. So look how good these wheels come out. I mean, there's still a little bit. Like I said, we didn't scrub anything, but man, they look real good. I think he said a couple of them got pitted from the acid in that wheel cleaner.
Oh yeah, you can see it right
but
there.
I mean, they look way better than what they did. This side came out really good. Tires are shining. I didn't even spray them down with tire shine. But man, they look so much better. They were so dirty and they almost looked bronze before. Now they're actually like aluminum, bright silver. I didn't even do these. I did these with the mother's polish and that cone thing. They actually come out really good. I've been driving on them, so they're a little dirty. But man, they shined up so much better than what these used to. And so did the ones on the Trailblazer and the ones on the silver Grand Am over there. I did those with the wheel clean and it actually did pretty good. A couple of them still are kind of dingy. They need polished because it's chrome. But they got all the brake dust off, so. But I guess I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so today's Tuesday, it's 4th of July. Happy 4th of July everybody. So I made it back over here to the house. And today I'm going to be working on changing out the idler pulley on the Supercharger belt idler down there. So I want to say it's in the front floorboard up here, I have that bigger pulley. So I need to get the belt tool, get the belt off, get a 15, get that pulley off. And I'm going to swap the pulley to the bigger pulley. And I'm going to have to swap the belt to a little bit longer belt. but that should get rid of the belt squeak, and that will make me a lot happier. And then if it's still squeaking after that, then I'll try changing this belt tensioner pulley and kind of go from there. So y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna grab some tools, get this belt off and that old pulley off, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright y'all, so I got the belt off. It's sitting up there. And then I went ahead and got the pulley unbolted. So old pulley is this one here. And it's like not feeling very good. So this is the other pulley. It's a little bit bigger, as you can tell, size comparison. So, but this is the pulley that's supposed to be on it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit more, get all this gunk out of here, and get it bolted back on. And then we'll try test fitting some belts and see if I have a belt that's going to fit, and kind of go from there. So y'all give me a few. I'm going to get this cleaned up and bolted on, and I'll give y'all another update. Alright y'all, so I've got the bigger pulley is now bolted back on in place. I got it all cleaned up. And then I went through my belts. This belt is like an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches longer than the ZZP belt. And before, I had the tensioner was like fully tensioned to get the ZZP belt on there. So this belt should fit. And I have another one that's just about the same size, but it's not in as good a condition. This one has a couple frays on it. So I'm probably going to need to get a new belt soon. Looks like it's ripped right there. So probably going to have to go get a new belt that's this size. But for now it should work. So I'm going to try to get this belt tool back on the tensioner. Try to get this belt on. Make sure everything fits correctly. And I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys. So I just got done putting this belt on. And it's too long. And so I just pulled it back off. And this is like the shortest belt that I have next to the ZZP one. So if I can't get this one to fit, I'm going to have to pull that bigger pulley back off and put one of these other ones on and try one of these other three. This is the bad one I just pulled off. So, but I guess I'm going to try this ZZP belt, and I'll give you all another update. Alright, you guys. Well, like I said, that belt was just too big. This one was too small, the ZZP belt. So, I just had to take the bigger pulley back off. I'm just going to put on another smaller pulley and run the ZZP belt. So, this is the exact same size pulley as the one that was just on there. So, this one has a good bearing in it, so I'm just going to wipe it down, clean it up, get all the dirt off of it, and bolt her on there and put the ZZP belt back on, and hopefully there's no belt squeak no more. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright y'all, so I got the pulley bolted on there. It spins nice and free. So I decided to spin the other pulleys. And then listen to this one. It definitely makes some noise. So, I don't know. I guess I'm going to try putting the belt back on. And then seeing if it still has a squeak. And if it does, I'm going to change that pulley right there. And that should get rid of our squeak. So, y'all give me a minute. I'll give you guys another update. Okay, guys. So, here's something interesting. So, I just started up the car without the supercharger belt. And I still have a belt squeak. So, that means it's got to be something on the main belt. So, it's either this tensioner pulley, or the alternator, or the power steering. It's a brand new water pump. Or the AC. So something else is making the belt squeal. It's one of these other main belt pulleys, not any of the supercharger pulleys. So I guess now I need to figure out which one of these main belt pulleys is going bad. I need to check that tensioner pulley And maybe I'll have to put one of these other two pulleys on it. Maybe it wasn't this one that was making noise. It definitely, when I pulled it off, it had some metal on it though, so I don't know if that was from the threads, but I mean, it sounds pretty good. Doesn't sound like it's making any noise or anything, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how that one works, and we'll get this main belt pulled off of here and try to replace that pulley, and then see if the belt squeak goes away. Alright guys, so here's something interesting. So on the main belt tensioner, it is left-handed thread, so you're actually tightening the bolt, and that's loosened. So this one is reverse thread. So if you ever have to change this pulley, it is reverse thread. Do not try to take it off in traditional, reverse, because you're going to over tighten it and probably strip out the aluminum. So just a good bit of information for anyone having to change this pulley, that it's reverse threads. Alright guys, so I've got the pulley off the tensioner, and it does make a good bit of noise. Here, hold on. I don't know if you can hear it, but it makes a little crunchy kind of noise. But anyway, so this bearing might be going bad, so I put that over there. But I wanted to show you what I was talking about with this bolt. So this is the bolt for the main belt tensioner, and then this is the bolt for the idler, or it's also the same bolt for the supercharger belt tensioner. So if you look at the difference in these threads, see, the main belt threads are backwards of the supercharge tensioner threads. So with the traditional bolt, you spin it to the right to thread it in. Well, the way that this one's set up, you have to spin it left, which would normally be loosen, to tighten it. So that's just what I was trying to explain a little bit about left-handed threads, reverse threads. So I guess I'm going to clean up this pulley, and I don't know, it doesn't look the greatest. Maybe I'll clean up that one or this one. These were both extras. Well, that one feels really tight. Ooh, I don't know. This one seems quiet. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put it back together with this setup, how it came off. And that's going to go back on there. And then we'll get the main belt back on. And then we'll see if it eliminated the belt squeak. Alright you guys, so now to explain why this is left-handed threads. So whenever you tension this pulley, so I just got done tightening it, now it's as tight as it'll go, and look, it tensions that way. So if you were to tighten this down normal threads and then go to remove the tension, it would just loosen the bolt. So that's why this one's left-handed threads, because this one tensions to where you're having to push your belt tool up like this, and then on the supercharger, when you put it on and you pull it back towards you, it tensions the opposite way, which is why this one has a traditional thread, because you have to tension it this way, which tightens the bolt down further. On that one, you have to, it's left-handed thread, so you tension it that way, it tightens the bolt down further. So that's the difference between the two. I hope this helps somebody, because a lot of people don't know that that's left-handed thread. So now I'm going to get the main belt back on since the pulley's on, and I'll start it up again, and we'll see if that eliminated the belt squeak. Alright y'all, so I've got the main belt back on. So now I'm going to start it up, see if we still have that belt squeal. still hear it a little bit. It's either got to be alternator or power steering. Damn near went away though. And I'm gonna kill it and put the supercharger belt on. Alright, I guess now I'm gonna put the supercharger belt back on and we'll see how she does. So y'all stay tuned. I'll give you another update. Alright you guys, so I've got both belts back on. So I'm about to start her back up. We'll see how she sounds. On, let it get cold. Fans kicked on. Good, sounds good. It's not as loud squeaking now. Oh, here we go. 14.37 volts. Shit, I'm happy with it. It's running great. No leaks around the fuel injector. You can see my clamp just worked out awesome. But yeah, so she's running great. I'm happy with it. Still haven't had a check engine light come on yet. It's been 2 or 3 days. So I'm just waiting for a check engine light to pop up anytime. So I'm gonna keep driving it, and I don't know what else to do in the meantime, but I guess it's gonna be it for now. So y'all stay tuned and I'll give you guys another update. Alright y'all, so I'm going up to the smoke shop to get some NOS, so here we go. Oh yeah, she moves now. You're running so much better. I guess there was something up with that supercharger belt pulley because that seemed way better than what it has the last couple days, and I don't know, that's crazy, but go jump on the highway. Much better now, even off just changing some pulleys. She screams now, buddy. It's crazy what some simple, basic replacement maintenance stuff can do for your engine. By a police up there. Had to hit the brakes. So I need to exit here anyways. Sounds so much better, running so much better. Now I just need to get in alignment. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna swing by the smoke shop, give me a couple NOS and a pack of cigarettes, and head back to the house, and I'll give y'all another update. Alright, you guys, it's like 10:15. There's fireworks going off everywhere. So, this can be the end of the video. I'm just gonna kick it for a little while, enjoy some fireworks, and have a good night with my mom. So, that's going to be it for this video. Leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video or if you learned anything. Leave me a comment down below. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Happy 4th of July. Y'all have a good night.